There's a new idea for helping many Boston students who need to make headway by learning to speak English. The idea combines new technology and some new thinking about the need for education to be more global. We'd like to welcome one of the people with the idea, the co-founder of Peach Ice Cream Adventures, Vicky Davis, and one of the supporters, the district councilor from Roxbury, Tito Jackson. I'd like to thank you both very much for being with us.
Thank you, Chris.
I want to start with Councilor Jackson, the news today, because it's about a school in your neighborhood in Grove Hall, the Jeremiah Burke, a student with a gun. Maybe it's the first time this year in Boston, but I guess people are pretty disturbed about that.
I think we should be very disturbed. I think the presence of that type of weapon in a high school setting and in a school setting is a real issue of safety, and it's something that we will definitely look into at the council, and I will definitely be in contact with the folks at the school department to make sure all of our schools are safe. We not only look out for the safety of our young people, the youngest of our young people, but also for the young people in our high schools. And I think the good part about this is that they were able to identify the individual as well as apprehend the individual who had that weapon. All right,
well, thank you. I'm turning to Vicky Davis. Your idea here, because the name of this venture, in a way, is something people say, what's this ice cream business?
Sure. I know it's a kind of a unique name. So Peach Ice Cream Adventures is actually the first of hopefully many games. So it's a particular project. And it started off where I have a 4.5-year-old and a 2-year-old son. And I was trying to create a way that would increase their science, technology, engineering, and math exposure while also introducing them to a second language, actually their mother tongue, which would be Chinese. And so Peach Ice Cream Adventures, since I'm from the video game industry, I wanted to gamify second language learning as well as STEM learning, and there's a monkey in the game, and it's kind of a cultural nod to one of the most famous folk tales in China called Journey to the West or Monkey King. And one of his favorite foods are peaches. So it's sort of a cultural nod. And I also run a live enrichment program for 2 to 5-year-olds using STEM principles to teach them Chinese. And one of their favorite activities in the class was making ice cream from scratch. So it's a combination of those two concepts. So.
Councilor Jackson, what attracted you to this idea?
The attraction that I have is about 46% of the students in the Boston public school system have parents who speak English as a second language. So when it comes down to our most often or our normal customer in the Boston public school system, it is going to be young people who come from several different tongues. So I thought having games, which, you know, a couple weeks ago, a new game came out called Halo, and in the first 24 hours, it sold $224 million. So I think that young people are kind of into games. And then also, when it comes to the issue of bridging issues relative to science, technology, engineering, and math, that's something that there is a need for. And Vicky was able to go out and to connect with some of her friends. And so the hook here for me is that they are willing to donate preloaded tablets to kindergartners and as well as preschoolers in the Roxbury and Dorchester area. If we are able to raise the dollar. So what this really comes down to is that Kickstarter is the platform that Vicky's raising money on, and if she's able to hit her goal, then young people throughout the city of Boston will have that opportunity. And I think we want to talk, this is actually a pitch this time, Chris, to make sure that people support this program.
Vicky, talk about how this new approach would be more effective, work better with kids.
Well, first of all, the optimal time to learn and maintain a language, a second language, is actually before the age of 6. In addition, the best time to also learn about math and logic is between 1 and 5. So there's a great intersection to combine those two areas into one teaching approach. The second thing is that most language learning resources are geared towards kids age 6 and older. So as you can see, there's a disconnect between the optimal time to learn it and what resources are available out there. So I started this initiative with actually a couple of other moms, all with kids under 6, because we found that there was nothing available in the market for our own kids. However, after telling Councilor Jackson about our initiative, he kind of pointed out to me, he said, I'm very happy for you. I'm very happy that you're trying to create this for your son and kids like your son. However, you know, the kids in my district and Roxbury and Dorchester, he was explaining to me just the startling statistics of the academic achievement gap and how economic status can widen that. And he said, meanwhile, when you see something that's lacking in the marketplace, you create this for your son, and the gap just widened in the areas of multilingualism and STEM readiness, and we are becoming a more global and innovative economy. Those are two skill sets that will prepare for future job readiness, and the gap widens because my kids don't have access to that. So I was really moved to try and figure out what to do. So a friend of mine in the industry runs Isabella Products, and I arranged with him that he makes Android-based tablets. And I said, look, I would love to be able to have Tito's kids and other kids in other cities as well, but starting with Councilor Jackson, just because I do know him, and we're trying to address the kids in Dorchester and Roxbury. But I would like to have the kids in the inner city be able to access the same tools at the same time as when my son gets it, not years later. Not when we've made $1 million and now we are able to donate. It's kind of like, okay, let's, the kids, they're growing up fast, they're passing through. I don't want to wait for 3 more years or however many more years of grades passing before his kids get access to this. So if we raise the amount of money we need on Kickstarter, and we only have 1 week left for this campaign, then, and I think we as a community, actually, if we really try, we can make it happen, that not only will kids across the globe be able to have access to this, but kids in his inner city as well as other inner cities that I would like to help out, we can roll out a pilot with this. So in the summer of 2013, his kids would be able to get it, which is when my son would also be able to get the product.
Councilor, I see this is also hinging on the parents getting in on the game here as
yes.
well.
I think parents from urban areas, but also from suburban areas, who believe in closing the achievement gap, who believe in the multilingual and global, or I've heard people talking about global and local economies, and the way in which we're able to connect with each other. Language, I think, is one of the best ways, and I wish I had learned more relative to. I actually studied French, as well as I wish I studied Spanish. This gives us a great opportunity, and so I would love for folks to go to Vicky's Kickstarter. It is a fundraising platform, and to go there and to contribute to this great opportunity we have for our young people.
Vicky, just briefly, if people do want to go there, what's the best way to find this?
Well, if you go to Kickstarter.com, if you search Peach Ice Cream Adventures in the search window of that site, our project will come up.
All right, thank you very much, Vicky Wu Davis and City Councilor Tito Jackson.